Level 1. Small-time carding. You are 22 and you have bought a batch of stolen credit card numbers off a forum for 40 just to see if it works, and it works twice before the third purchase gets flagged. The email that follows is not dramatic, just your bank's fraud department asking you to confirm a transaction. Not the FBI. Not yet. A junior analyst named Priya Kessler at the Card Network's fraud unit sees your transaction as one of 200 flagged that week. She does not call you. She marks the card compromised, closes the loop, moves to the next file. You never know this happened. That is the lesson of level 1 nobody tells you. The system does not need to catch you to close the door behind you. Level 2. Selling access. You are 25. What started as testing stolen numbers becomes selling access itself. Credentials repackaged and sold in bulk on a forum you believe is anonymous because everyone there believes it is anonymous. Each clean sale feels like proof. The forum is as safe as it claims. This time, the file moves to a cyber squad, where an agent named Daniel Osei does something the Card Network's review never required: watching. He joins the forum quietly, under a handle indistinguishable from any buyer, mapping which seller accounts repeat, which payment addresses repeat, which typos repeat across listings months apart. The pattern gives you away before any single sale does, he tells a colleague, though you will not hear that sentence until it is read aloud to you across an interview table. By the time agents move, they already know your posting schedule, your wallet addresses, and the 3 aliases you thought were separate people. You are not caught, you are catalogued. Level 3. DDoS for hire. You are 28. A small business refuses to pay a fee you invented and calls it self-protection, so you take their site down for 6 hours to make a point. This is not a fraud unit case anymore. It is a cybercrimes task force case, and the difference shows within a day. An agent named Renee Castillo subpoenas the Buta service you rented, which keeps better logs than you assume the criminal service would bother keeping. She cross-references the rental timestamp against the outage window and finds a match inside an afternoon. Within 3 days, a payment trail through 2 exchanges narrows to a wallet you used exactly once, believing once was safe. Agent Castillo does not need a confession. She needs the timeline to finish drawing itself, and it finishes in under a week. Level 4. Ransomware against a small business. Juana, you are 31. What began as a single phishing email sent to a dental office's front desk becomes full access to their patient files within a night, encrypted, ransomed for $15,000 in a currency you believe is untraceable because you have heard that phrase repeated enough times to mistake repetition for fact. A specialized unit gets involved this time. Agents with technical backgrounds rather than traditional investigative ones. An agent named Marcus Feld traces the ransom wallet through a mixing service, then through an exchange that cooperates once shown a subpoena. The blockchain remembers everything permanently and forgets nothing. He tells an analyst reviewing the case, no matter how many services you route the payment through. It takes his team 6 weeks, mostly spreadsheets and patience, to connect the wallet back to an exchange account you opened using an email address you have used exactly one other time years earlier for something unrelated and forgotten. Level 5. Large-scale data breach. You are 34. A single, vulnerable server becomes access to a retailer's entire customer database. 40 million records sold in bulk to a broker you never meet. The scale draws a joint unit, agents from the cyber division working with forensic accountants. An agent named Sophia Machete does not chase the breach itself. She chases the sale, tracing the broker's payment pattern across accounts designed to look unremarkable individually, glaring ones laid beside each other. The mapping takes months and yields nothing until it yields the one login that used your home connection on a night you forgot to route through anything at all. Level 6. SIM swap ring. You are 38. What started as one hijacked phone number becomes a ring. Bribing career employees, redirecting 2-factor codes, draining cryptocurrency accounts, one target at a time. Each swap that clears without a target noticing for hours feels like proof the method is invisible. It is not. An agent named Wesley Tran builds a case around the carrier employees first, not you, subpoenaing internal access logs that show the same 3 employee credentials used for swaps across different states. Employees who have never met each other and could not have coordinated the fraud alone. We don't usually go after the swap first, Agent Tran tells a junior analyst. We go after who's opening the door on the inside. The swap is just what walks through it. 19 swaps trace back to the same 3 employees, and from the employees back to a group chat you believed was private. Level 7. Ransomware against critical infrastructure. You are 42. A regional hospital network. A target you told yourself was purely financial, no different from any other extortion. Until surgeries are delayed and the patient transfer is complicated by systems you locked for money. A cyber agent named Lisa Chen leads the response, working with analysts tracing the payment through 6 wallets and the foreign exchange that eventually cooperates under pressure from international partners. It takes 4 months. The hospital's delayed surgeries feature in the eventual charging document not as an afterthought, but as the detail that moved the case from financial crime to something the unit treated as an emergency from day one. Level 8. An advanced persistent threat group. You are 46, part of a small crew maintaining long-term access inside 3 corporate networks, harvesting data slowly enough to avoid triggering the alerts a fast breach would. Patience was supposed to be your advantage. It becomes the pattern that identifies you. A multi-agency task force forms, coordinated by a supervisory agent named Patricia Wren, mapping command and control infrastructure across months, subpoenaing hosting providers in 4 countries, cross-referencing code artifacts that repeat across intrusions your crew believed were unconnected. She does not focus on any one intrusion. She maps the infrastructure, and the infrastructure was always going to outlast any single operation's caution. Level 9. An international cybercrime syndicate. You are 50. Financial networks crossing borders faster than any single agency's jurisdiction can follow without help. A legal attaché named Robert Castellanos, stationed overseas, becomes the connective tissue between domestic investigators and partners in 2 other countries, each with its own evidentiary standards. Domestic cases move at the speed of a subpoena, he tells a colleague. International cases move at the speed of the slowest government's paperwork. And the only fix is relationships built years before you need them. A coordinated operation, timed to the hour across 3 countries, results in arrests happening almost simultaneously despite a 9-hour difference between the farthest 2 locations. Level 10. An attack against critical national infrastructure. You are 55. A plot to disrupt a power grid segment, disrupted before completion. A joint task force activates within hours, pulling federal agents, private sector engineers, and intelligence analysts who do not typically share information this fast. A supervisory agent named Elena Machete coordinates a response, drawing on signals intelligence, financial intelligence, and relationships built for exactly this kind of moment. Nothing about this moves at a normal investigative pace, she tells her team. Everything that would normally take weeks happens in minutes. Because the cost of being slow is measured differently here than anywhere else in this work. You are identified within days. The full weight of an apparatus that normally takes years to assemble instead compressed into its most urgent version, activated completely the instant the threat was confirmed. 10 levels, 10 different sizes of the same basic architecture. A flagged card and a hunted power grid are not different systems. They are the same system, scaled to match what it is asked to find. It does not need to catch you fast. It only needs to remember everything permanently until the picture is complete enough that the knock on the door is almost an afterthought compared to everything that built toward it. If this changed how you see what happens after the crime, before the headline, share it. Subscribe if you are new here. Every week, this channel goes somewhere most people only ever imagine from the outside.